Tonight, while the world puts on masks to drive away demons, there is a truth far more terrifying. The real ghosts are not in the graveyards, nor in abandoned houses. They dwell within our own minds, clinging to us without letting go. If you dare to keep listening, be ready to step into a Halloween journey unlike any you've ever known, where Buddhist wisdom meets the darkness. I kept walking. The dirt path led into a strange valley. The late October cold pierced my skin like thousands of needles. Before me, an ancient village buried in thick fog. Stone houses, gray and crumbling. Roofs half collapsed. Windows dark like empty eye sockets staring. I felt as if I had wandered into a place long abandoned by the living. But then from one deserted house, a wooden door creaked open by itself, as if someone had stepped out to watch me. I froze, yet saw nothing but darkness. At the edge of the village stood a temple. Its spire pierced the gray sky. In the courtyard, a single butter lamp still flickered, its flame trembling as if about to die, casting light on a Buddha statue buried under layers of dust. I stepped inside. The air was thick, heavy with the damp scent of old incense. The murals on the walls were cracked, flaking in chunks, yet the painted eyes still seemed to follow me. I turned away, but the gaze clung to my back. Suddenly, a sound rose from deep inside the hall, like chanting, faint, distant, then silence. I froze. In this abandoned temple, who could be chanting at midnight? I moved closer to the altar. Upon it sat a small bronze Buddha statue, chipped and worn. And then, my spine went cold. From its left eye oozed thick crimson drops. They dripped down, falling onto a candle that had just gone out. I shut my eyes, inhaled deeply, and recalled the Buddha's words. All phenomena are illusions, like clouds drifting across the sky. Without clinging, they will vanish. I realized the fear in my heart was greater than any sight before me. These horrors were only mirrors reflecting the ghosts within. Greed, hatred, delusion. They are the spirits that cling to us from life to life. I turned to leave the temple, but the moment I stepped outside, I saw a graveyard stretching across the hillside, rows of stone tombs shrouded in white mist. And in the center, a lone figure knelt before a grave. I took a step forward, and it vanished. I stood still before the graveyard sprawled beneath the hill. Hundreds of stone tombs aligned in eerie order, covered in moss and thin snow. Pale moonlight pierced the clouds, spilling over the headstones, making them gleam cold. As I approached, my heart pounded faster. Amidst the graves, a figure knelt, tattered robes, frail body, shivering in the night wind. I opened my mouth to call. The figure lifted its face, skin pale as death, hollow eyes without whites. I realized instantly this was no living being, a ghost. And in the blink of an eye, it melted into the mist. But before fading, it looked at me with emptiness, as if trying to convey something. I trembled as I approached the grave where it had knelt. Carved into the stone was a line of Tibetan script. I could not read it all, but part had been translated into Chinese. The greatest ghost in life is the untamed mind. I stood in silence. That ghost had not appeared to frighten me, but to remind me. The ghosts outside, however terrifying, are fleeting. But the ghosts within, greed, anger, fear, desire, these follow us relentlessly, from one existence to the next. In Buddhism, they are called the five aggregates: form, feeling, perception, mental formations, consciousness. They are like ghosts, weaving the illusion of a permanent self in truth, only arising and passing, birth and death. Yet because we cling, we suffer. And in clinging, we become wandering spirits in endless samsara. Suddenly, the wind howled. All the prayer flags in the graveyard whipped wildly, their snapping cloths screaming like voices of the dead. I looked around. Dozens of phantom figures stood among the stones, unmoving, neither forward nor back, only staring directly at me. My heartbeat raced. I shut my eyes, drew a deep breath, and remembered a verse of the Buddha. The one who fears the dark is swallowed by darkness. The one who lights the lamp of wisdom scatters the night. When I opened my eyes, all had vanished. Only silent tombs remained, blanketed in snow. I lingered there for a long while, then turned away. But deep inside, I knew that ghost was still here. Not in the graveyard, but within my own mind. I left the graveyard, and the path led to a small village square. At its center, a ring of fire burned, crackling in the cold wind. I shivered, as if witnessing an ancient rite. In the West, people say that on Halloween night, fires are lit and pumpkins carved to ward off spirits. But here, in the Tibetan mountains, the rite was different. They did not banish ghosts. They called them forth, for they believed only when the dead are heard and prayed for will the spirits move on. A drum thundered, low, insistent, like the heartbeat of the entire graveyard. Through the flames, shadowed figures in black robes sat cross-legged, faces hidden. Their chanting rose, deep and strange, half prayer, half mourning. With every chant, the flames leapt higher, illuminating twisted faces forming in the smoke. I rubbed my eyes, but they remained, not illusion, faces incomplete, half human, half beast, weeping and laughing, writhing within the fire. I collapsed to the ground, trembling, and remembered the Buddha's words. Karma does not vanish. It follows us like a shadow, and it shapes the faces we will wear. Suddenly, I understood. On Halloween, people wear masks of their choosing. But in samsara, the true mask is forged by karma. If we sow hatred, the mask becomes a contorted face of rage. If we sow greed, it becomes eyes forever red, never satisfied. If we sow ignorance, the mask is a hollow smile, wandering endlessly without release. I looked up and froze. In the smoke, my own face emerged, twisted, deformed, sneering. I spun away, but wherever I looked, it followed. And I knew these were the karmas I had sown, reflecting back at me. I shut my eyes. Amid chants, wind, and grotesque laughter, I whispered a verse. All phenomena arise from the mind. When the mind is pure, the world is pure. When I opened my eyes, the fire still burned, but the smoke had cleared. The robed figures sat in silence, faces serene. I realized then the ritual was never meant to terrify. It was a mirror showing us karma is the greatest mask of all. I rose, leaving the circle. Above me, the sky opened, stars glittering by the thousands. I walked beyond the square, found a quiet place, and sat. For the first time that Halloween night, I closed my eyes to meditate, and so began another journey, the one within, to face the ghosts inside my mind. I left the fire, climbing deeper into the mountain. The sky expanded, millions of stars scattered across the night. I found a flat stone, sat upright, hands resting gently on my knees, and for the first time that night, I closed my eyes to meditate. At first, only the breath. I listened to each inhalation, each exhalation, but then the darkness of my mind stirred. Visions arose. I stood in an empty field, mist swirling on all sides. From the fog, figures emerged, faces twisted, bodies broken, eyes hollow. They closed in, surrounding me. I recognized them, friends, family, and even myself in moments of anger, greed, weakness. All appeared like restless ghosts I had once ignored. One face rushed near. It was me, aged, eyes burning with rage. It laughed, a sound that shook the valley and rattled the sky. I shuddered, cold sweat soaking my back. It was no stranger. It was the shadow of myself, the part I had never dared to confront. I breathed deeply. In fear, I recited silently, "When the mind shines, darkness cannot remain. When wisdom dawns, demons dissolve." And strangely, the apparitions dissolved. Like mist under the morning sun, they faded, leaving silence. When I opened my eyes, the night sky still shimmered. The stars, brighter than ever. I realized the ghosts I saw were never out there. They were born of my mind, from untamed greed, anger, delusion. If I fear them, they are real. If I face them in mindfulness, they vanish. The Buddha once said, "The greatest enemy in life is not outside. It is the mind, untamed." This Halloween night, I had not only met the ghosts in graveyards, nor witnessed strange rites. I had met the ghost within my own heart. And for the first time, I dared to sit still and look straight at it. I remained there long, until dawn lit the mountains. The stars faded, the sky turned soft pink, and I knew my journey was not yet over. Halloween would pass, but the lesson of that night would stay forever. Dawn broke over the peaks. The stars dissolved, giving way to a sky of pale rose. I sat quietly, watching light filter through the rocks, dissolving the darkness of a long night. And in that moment I realized, Halloween too shall pass. Pumpkin lanterns will die out, fires will cool, masks will be removed. But the darkness within, if not faced, will haunt us forever. Last night, I saw the ghosts outside, and the ghosts within. I was afraid. I trembled. But I learned. The true ghost does not come from graveyards. It is the mind untamed. Greed, anger, delusion. These are the spirits that haunt our lives. They don't wait for Halloween to appear. They are there every day, every moment. The Buddha taught, One who lights the lamp of wisdom will no longer fear the dark. On that haunting night, I lit the butter lamp of mindfulness, and astonishingly, the phantoms vanished like mist under the sun. What remained was silence and a peace I had never known. Dear listener, perhaps you do not believe in ghosts outside, but surely you have met the ghosts within: anger, fear, jealousy, the crushing loneliness. This Halloween, while others wear masks for fun, try removing the mask inside you. Sit, close your eyes, ask yourself, which ghost controls me, and what light will set me free? Halloween is not merely a game of fear. If seen deeply, it is a reminder that the true darkness lies not outside, but within. And only by facing it with mindfulness can we be free and at peace. If tonight's journey touched you, leave a comment about the ghost within you have faced. Share this video so others may light their own lamps of wisdom. And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the journeys ahead, where we continue to seek peace amid the shadows of life.